Have you ever wondered how a major historical turn could hinge on principles of peace and justice? What if a single event could change the course of an entire culture, transforming enmity into unity? Imagine the ancient city of Mecca, bustling and vibrant, yet at the brink of monumental change. How did Islam triumph so decisively during the holy month of Ramadan? Breaking the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. In the year 630 CE, a peace agreement known as the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah was in place. This treaty was supposed to stop fighting and create peace between two groups, the Quraysh and the Muslims. However, this peace was broken when the Banu Bakr tribe, who were friends with the Quraysh, attacked the Banu Khuza'a tribe, who had recently become allies with the Muslims. This attack was a big problem because it went against the rules of the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. The treaty had said that no one should attack the allies of the other group. When the Banu Bakr attacked the Banu Khuza'a, it was like the Quraysh themselves were breaking their promise of peace. The Banu Khuza'a were hurt and needed help. They went to Muhammad, the leader of the Muslims, and told him what had happened. Muhammad saw this as a clear breaking of the peace treaty. He knew that it was important to stand up for justice and to protect his allies, the Banu Khuza'a. So, Muhammad decided it was time to act. This decision wasn't just about fighting back. It was about showing that promises and agreements are important and must be respected. The breaking of the treaty by the Quraysh's allies led Muhammad to prepare for a big event, the Conquest of Mecca. This was the beginning of a significant chapter in Islamic history, showing that breaking promises could lead to major changes. A call for justice. The Banu Khuza'a tribe was deeply hurt and seeking justice after being attacked. They traveled to Medina to ask for help from Muhammad, the leader of the Muslims. They told Muhammad how the Quraysh and their allies, the Banu Bakr, had broken the peace by attacking them, even though there was a treaty in place that should have protected them. Muhammad listened to their story and decided it was important to take a stand. He asked the Quraysh to make things right. He gave them 3 choices to fix their mistake. 1. They could pay blood money to the families of those who were hurt or killed, which is a way to offer financial support to make up for the loss. 2. They could end their friendship with the Banu Bakr, showing that they did not support the attack. 3. They could cancel the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah altogether, which would mean that the agreement to live in peace was no longer in effect. Strategic preparation and mobilization. Muhammad knew that preparing well was key to success. As he planned the march to Mecca, he made sure everything was kept secret to avoid any leaks that could jeopardize their mission. He gathered a huge army of 10,000 men, which was the largest group of Muslim soldiers ever put together up until that time. This large number showed how serious and ready they were to stand up for justice and protect their people. The timing of their departure was also carefully chosen. They set out during Ramadan, the holy month of fasting and reflection for Muslims. This was not just a coincidence, it added a deep religious meaning to their journey. Ramadan is a time when Muslims seek to get closer to God and think about what is truly important in life. By choosing this month for their march, Muhammad emphasized that their action was not just about winning a battle, but was also a spiritual journey. This careful planning and the symbolic timing helped boost the morale of the troops. They felt they were part of something much bigger than just a military campaign. They were fighting for justice, guided by their faith and supported by their unity and careful planning. This preparation was crucial in setting the stage for the significant events that were about to unfold in Mecca. Psychological and military tactics. As Muhammad led his large army closer to Mecca, he used smart tactics not just on the battlefield, but also in the minds of his opponents. One of these tactics was to order his troops to light many fires at night as they neared the city. These fires were more than just for cooking or keeping warm. They had a special purpose. By lighting these fires, Muhammad wanted to show the Quraysh in Mecca just how large and ready his army was. This strategy was very clever because when the people of Mecca saw the brightness of so many fires, They could guess that a huge army was camped nearby. This sight was meant to make the Quraysh think twice about fighting back. They could see that Muhammad's army was strong and well prepared, which made them feel overwhelmed and less likely to resist. The use of these fires at night played a big role in weakening the morale of the Quraysh. It made them feel outnumbered and underprepared in comparison to Muhammad's forces. This psychological tactic was an important part of Muhammad's strategy, as it reduced the chances of major conflict, helping to pave the way for a more peaceful conquest of Mecca. Entry into Mecca and terms of conquest. When it was time for the Muslim army to enter Mecca, Muhammad made sure his soldiers knew exactly how to behave. He gave them strict orders to avoid any fighting, unless it was absolutely necessary. This was very important because the goal was to take over Mecca peacefully, without hurting more people than they had to. Leaders like Khalid ibn al-Walid and Abu Ubaidah were in charge of different groups of soldiers. They made sure everyone followed Muhammad's orders carefully. Their job was to keep things calm and only defend themselves if someone attacked them first. This showed that the Muslim army was there not to destroy or cause trouble, but to bring peace and justice. This careful approach helped prevent a big battle in Mecca. The people of Mecca saw that the Muslim soldiers were disciplined and serious about following their peaceful instructions. This respect for the lives and property of the Meccans made it easier for them to accept Muhammad's leadership. By entering the city in such a controlled and ethical way, Muhammad and his army showed that their mission was about more than just winning a war. It was about setting new standards for how conflicts should be handled. The transformation of the Kaaba. One of the most significant moments during the conquest of Mecca was the transformation of the Kaaba. The Kaaba was a very important religious site in Mecca, but before the conquest, it was filled with idols. These idols were part of the old ways of worshipping many gods, which is called idolatry. Muhammad knew that to establish Islam in Mecca, these idols had to go. So, he went into the Kaaba himself and took down each idol one by one. This act was very symbolic. By removing the idols, Muhammad was cleaning the Kaaba of old practices and making it a place for worshipping only one God, which is a key belief in Islam. This bold step marked a huge change. It was the end of idol worship in Mecca and a clear sign that Islam was now the guiding faith in the city. This change wasn't just about shifting religious beliefs. It was about showing that Mecca was to be a city of unity, peace, and monotheism, believing in just one God. The transformation of the Kaaba became a central point in Islamic history, showing how important it is to respect and follow one's faith. General amnesty and reconciliation. After Muhammad and his army successfully took control of Mecca, he made a very important and generous decision. Instead of punishing the people who had once fought against him and treated him and his followers badly, he chose to forgive them. This act of forgiveness is called general amnesty. It meant that no one would be harmed or held responsible for their past actions against Muhammad and his community. This decision to forgive was a big step towards healing the old wounds between Muhammad and the people of Mecca. It showed that Muhammad valued peace and unity over revenge. This act of kindness helped many people in Mecca feel safe and respected, even those who had been his enemies. One of the most significant examples of this change was Abu Sufyan, a leader in Mecca who had strongly opposed Muhammad before. He and many others decided to accept Islam, seeing the true character of Muhammad and his message. Their conversion was a sign of how much had changed in Mecca. Did you find the story of the conquest of Mecca as fascinating as we do? If you enjoyed this journey through a pivotal moment in history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful stories. What historical event should we explore next? Let us know in the comments below.